So you're planning a trip to the paradise that is Costa Rica, right? Well, there's one single decision that's going to totally shape your budget and honestly, your entire experience. And that is, where are you going to stay? Today, we are diving deep into that ultimate travel showdown.
I mean it. That one choice, your accommodation, it really does shape everything. It sets the budget, it sets the whole vibe of your trip. So you've got to ask yourself, what are you really looking for? Do you want a truly local, get your hands dirty, immersive experience? Or are you after a completely worry-free, sit back and relax all-in-one escape? And that's why we're putting these two travel philosophies head-to-head. You've got the independent, super flexible Airbnb stay on one side, where you can actually live like a local. And on the other, you have the full-service resort experience, which is all about pure convenience and just straight-up relaxation.
All right, let's just dive right in, and let's start with the one thing that's probably on everyone's mind, the cost. We're going to look at the average nightly price for each of these options during March, which is a super popular high-season month, just to see how they stack up.
Okay, so for an Airbnb or vacation rental, you're looking at a national average of about $139 per night. Now think about a cool studio or a small condo. It's the perfect little home base for all your adventures.
Now let's flip over and look at a typical hotel or resort. The average here, it creeps up a little bit to around $160 a night. Now, on the surface, you might be thinking, that's not a huge difference. But trust me, as you're about to see, this is just the tip of the iceberg.
And here's why those averages can be kind of misleading. The real story is in the price ranges. You see, a mid-range Airbnb might top out around $250, but a mid-range to, a luxury resort, that can easily soar past $400 a night. And this is where your budget really starts to go in two completely different directions. It gives you the choice to either save or seriously splurge. So the big question is, what are you actually getting for your money? Well, with an Airbnb, you're getting space and, crucially, a kitchen, which can be a massive money saver on food. With a resort, you're paying for pure, unadulterated convenience. We're talking on-site pools, restaurants, and a concierge who handles all your tour bookings for you.
But hey, here is a major pro tip. You've got to watch out for those hidden costs. With Airbnbs, the price you see when you're scrolling often isn't what you end up paying. You've got cleaning fees, service fees, and local taxes that can really add up. And at resorts, well, that convenience comes at a price. The food and drinks on site are almost always going to be more expensive than what you'd find at a little local spot just down the road.
Okay, let's zoom out and look at the big picture now. We're going to map out a hypothetical 10-night trip, so not including your flights, just to see how these seemingly small daily choices can absolutely explode into the total cost of your vacation. First up, let's talk about our independent explorer, the person staying in an Airbnb. Accommodation is, the biggest slice of the pie at about 55%. But look at the rest of it. Food, activities, transport. It's all pretty balanced. And you know why? Because having that kitchen and living like a local directly frees up your cash for way more adventures. Okay, now let's shift gears to the relaxation seeker over at the resort. Whoa, this budget looks totally different, right? Accommodation swells to 60% of the cost, and you'll notice the activities budget gets a bigger slice too. That's the convenience of booking tours right from your lobby. But what's the trade-off? There's just less of your budget left over for food and for getting around on your own. And this is where it all comes together. When you lay it all out like this, the difference is just staggering. I mean, a 10-night trip for an Airbnb traveler could cost as little as $2,200. That exact same trip for a resort traveler could easily top $6,600. We are talking about a potential difference of thousands of dollars for the same amount of time in the country. It's huge. So with all these numbers just sitting there on the table, how in the world do you decide? Well, the answer, of course, isn't about which one is better. It's about which one is better for you. It really just boils down to this. An Airbnb is pretty much perfect if you're working with a more moderate budget, if you're traveling with your family or a group, or if you just love the freedom of cooking for yourself. A resort, on the other hand, is the clear winner if you are seeking pure comfort. You're craving amenities like a swim-up bar and a spa, and you just prefer the ease of having guided experiences all planned out for you. But listen, no matter which path you choose, I've got a few pro tips that are going to save you some serious cash. First, book early. I'm talking at least 4 to 6 months ahead for high season. Second, eat local. Skip the touristy places and find the local sodas. They're incredible and so affordable. Third, think about mixing and matching. Why not do a few nights in an Airbnb and then a few in a resort to get the best of both worlds? And finally, use shared shuttles. They're an absolute game changer for your transport budget. So, there you have it. You've seen the budget breakdown, you know the options, you've got the insider tips. The only question left is, what is your Pura Vida adventure going to look like?